Thanks to everybody joining another episode, 1796 Sports Podcast. Third time doing it live. Appreciate everybody who has tuned in the last now 3 weeks. So, Jim, any overarching thoughts on that UAB game? I know not much to take away in a game like that, but what were you thinking?
I was thinking that the offensive line still looks great. Running backs obviously still look great. Everyone looks great. Joey looks great. Um, Defense is a little sketchy. I mean, like it's it's sad. It's sad to say, but at this point, you're 4 games in. It's a little bit sketchy. I mean, and don't get me wrong, we held them to I think what 10 or 17 in the first half. 10.
7 in the first half.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, second half was all second string and all that. Great, we stayed healthy for the most part. That was the biggest thing because this week we obviously need everyone as healthy as we can get, and we're still questioning, until tomorrow, right? We'll get the injury report, or
The first one, yeah, the first injury
yeah,
report tomorrow.
I am calling it right now that Davian Hobbs and Jackson Moy will be listed as questionable. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hobbs doesn't play. That's just going off a gut feeling. I have no idea. And I think Moy will play. I think Moy's going to play.
I don't have the strength to speculate on the injuries anymore. It's just we really don't know, and we're not going to know. That's just the way they operate. I yeah, it is what it is. We can talk about that in a little bit as far as how it pertains to the next game. But as far as the UAB game goes, I'm not. I mean, the course of defense is not as good as it was last year. I think that's safe to say. It's been 4 games. They don't look crazy good, but as long as we're scoring like we have been, it'll be all right. And I think that'll hold true Saturday night too. But starters only gave up a touchdown, and it was really that one drive where they got some things put together, and there was a busted coverage. Whatever, it happens even against UAB. I mean, UAB wasn't an FCS team. We still held them to 7 in the first half. It's fine. And like you said, the second half, the second half was about letting the young pups get in there and run around. And we got beat in the second half, 17-14, but doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm kind of glad we chose to, take the foot off the gas. Because I remember 3 years ago against Akron, Cedric Tillman gets his knee popped for no good reason because we were blowing them out and they were upset. They tried to go to Hooker's knee on an option in that game. I don't. The more you run up the score, the more likely you'll get a stupid team like UAB to start going for knees. So I'm fine with how the game unfolded. But what really stood out to me is that if something happens to Joey, we might be screwed.
We might not win a game.
Jake Merklinger does not look good, and I'm sorry, Jake, if you're watching. No flame. It happened to John Mateer. Who knows what Oklahoma's going to do now for the next month? So we'll see. But that's really my biggest takeaway is that Jake Merklinger did not look good at all, and I don't know why we did not see any GMAC on Saturday.
Yeah, that was like the main discussion in some of my group chats and stuff was why, like, you have 4 games on your schedule of non-conference opponents that you have a chance to get those guys in. George McIntyre has a higher upside at this point. I think everyone will agree because after what I saw, and this is second year for Jake, he looked lost. And don't get me wrong, he almost made a nice pass at the end of the game for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But almost, by the way. And I'm no hate towards Jake. It's just thank God we have a good offensive line because Joey, if something happens to him, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you nailed it. If we did not have a good offensive line, we're probably looking at a 7-5 season. Because even if Joey is able to play and he's bruised up all the time because he keeps getting sacked, who knows how effective he'd be. So really happy we have a good offensive line. Um, but anyway, that's about all I got from the UAB game. Do you have anything else?
Well, I was just speaking on the offensive line real quick. We're talking about injuries as well. At this point in the season, your offensive line is playing pretty. I mean, you're gonna. I wouldn't say elite, but they're very good offensive line. And you're 4 games in.
Yeah.
David Sanders, are you? At what point? What do you do? Do you put him in for a game like this, or because that's another one on the injury list that we'll talk about? Is are we going to see him? And if you do, is he going to be starting? Does Perry move to guard and all that stuff, or do you keep the line the same? Because the line's been phenomenal from the get go.
Yeah, I mean, only giving up 2 sacks in 4 games. You've only played one FCS opponent. You've played Georgia, the most talented team in the country, according to 247. The 247 composite, talent ranking. I'm sure you've heard of it. Like, I don't know. It's an interesting question, but I always fall back on, and we talked about it before we played Georgia. Whether he would have played in that game or not, I want the best 5 out there, and they deemed him part of the best 5. So
yeah.
It could be even better, But anyway, when you look at this Mississippi State team through 4 games, 3 opponents that they were going to always beat, and then that last second win against Arizona State, what really jumps out to you?
Say that again. You cut out for me.
Oh, sorry. What jumps out to you about this Mississippi State team through 4 games?
Honestly, and I'm not trying to throw any shade at them because they have been playing well on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They are playing better defensively because last year their defense was absolutely atrocious. But I don't know. At this point, for me, Mississippi State is a question mark, which makes me kind of nervous about the game because they're playing really good on the offensive side of the ball. We're pretty much struggling on the defensive side of the ball. So that kind of worries me for them. But again, it's kind of a bunch of question marks for them because Arizona State isn't the team they were last year. And Mississippi State just beat them by 4. So, again, no shade thrown at them. They're the home team. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We are their Super Bowl where we sold their stadium out
for the first time in 7 years.
And because right now Mississippi State, including Brandon Walker, I hope you see this too, including Brandon Walker, they think they're going to a playoff national championship. Whole ordeal. So if they somehow pull this off, it's going to be curtains for the rest of the country. I'm just going to tell you
that. So you're scared of Mississippi State? Was that the point of all that? I'm just joking.
It's more of a it's a trappy feel. Everyone keeps saying Kentucky's a trap game. I think this is the trap game because we're 1-3 in the past 4 road games we played, and Josh Heupel has struggled on the road. And this is a hurdle that he has to get over, which we thought Georgia was the last thing but he needs to get over this hurdle of not winning on the road. And this will start a good little homestand too for Tennessee. So if you could go win this game, you got Arkansas at home and then Tuscaloosa. So,
I don't think it's as much of a trap game as it seemed like, before the season got underway, because I don't know how much you can overlook a 4-0 team. I don't care who they've played. You see a 4-0, they haven't lost. That you shouldn't be overlooking them, even if they've played 4 morons and they've played 3, arguably 4. We'll see how Arizona State ends up, but
3.5.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say 3.5. I mean, you mentioned that Arizona State game, that last minute touchdown, huge busted coverage there. Arizona State played good defense most of that game, but they just fell apart at the wrong time. But Arizona State, the team who made the playoff last year, and gave Texas. Honestly, they probably should have beat Texas in that playoff game.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
gave Texas everything they wanted, and they beat Mississippi State by 7 in their home stadium with that team last year. I mean, it just is what it is. Like Arizona State just doesn't have the talent of a Mississippi State. Even I mean, it might be comparable. It's probably like very very comparable. I was talking about that talent composite earlier. See, Mississippi State's 24th, Arizona State's 33rd. You know, and by the way, Tennessee's 16th. Okay, there you go. That's kind of surprising. I figured we'd
16th
be
and what?
the talent composite, the
Oh, okay.
247. But anyway, the point is like what's like you said, we really don't know. But let's get into their playmakers so far. I mean, obviously Blake Shapen started the first 4 games for him last year before being hurt. Michael Van Buren taking over. By the time they got to Neyland, you know, they had been in a lot of close games last year before they got to Neyland. They lost to Georgia by 10 in Athens. They lost to I think it was A&M by 10. They played a lot of close games last year, and then they got to Neyland. I think they were too beat up to put up a fight in that game. I mean, Nico left the game at halftime. Gaston played the whole second half. We passed 8 times and beat them by 20. Like, but this year Shapen's back at the helm for them at quarterback, and he's looked all right. I think to me, you said their offense has been impressive, which it's been above average, I think. But to me, their defense has been impressive, and I know they haven't really played anybody too substantial yet. But what's your thoughts on how Blake Shapen has looked so far?
I mean, he's doing pretty well. I mean, he's throwing 6-7%, completion rate. He's got a good wide receiver he throws to, and Brennan Thompson, who's got almost 300 yards this season.
Yeah.
And then they also got a good running game. I mean, Fluff Bothwell, is doing pretty well. Got a good name.
I'm sorry. I gotta
I'm gonna
hold
be
up.
calling him Fluffy.
Fluff Bothwell. That's very elite
Good old
name.
Fluffy.
But, they still have that their running back from last year, Devon Booth too. But Fluff is taking the helm. It's Fluff
Fluffy's
season.
taking the helm, baby.
but yeah, I mean, Jeff Lebby has always ran a good offense. I mean, he's kind of Heupel's buddy. They have coached together. They run a similar offense. So I'm not surprised to see their offense taking some steps here in the first part of that in the second season under Lebby. But to me, it just comes back to like, are we really that impressed by them beating Arizona State? Is the real question? Because like I said, you knew they were going to beat those other 3 teams. It's just it doesn't seem that impressive to me at this point. Now that we know that Arizona State is just all right.
Well, yeah, and then you're talking about Tennessee's better talent than Arizona State is, and they have like you said, a better talent composite. Than most teams that they're going to play, other than in the SEC. But yeah. Again, he's also got he's got 2 wide receivers at pretty much 300 yards. And then they got 1 wide receiver, Jordan Mosley, who's got 139 yards on 4 catches. So he's averaging 35 yards a catch, which is just absolutely absurd. I know it's only 4 catches, but yeah, the only reason I call this a trap game, it's not necessarily like you're not mentally prepared for it. I know Tennessee's going into this game because I mean you already lost 1 game. Like you can't slip up here. You have to win this game. This is a must-win game. Every game's a must-win game at this point. So a trap game, I mean, more of a sneaky team that can, I don't know, mess you up because like I said, it's mainly the Heupel record on the road that scares me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many coaches you can't say that about, like obviously you're going to do a little bit worse on the road. It's just he always has the 1 game a year that normally is on the road. Last year was Arkansas, 2023. I guess you could say Missouri. Missouri was a pretty good team that year. I mean, they were a good team. They won 10 games and beat Ohio State in a New Year's Six bowl. I mean, Missouri was a pretty good team that year, but you didn't show up for that. 2022, you obviously had South Carolina. 2021, I don't remember a road slip up where I expected to win really. So it's really just the South Carolina and Arkansas games that people always look back at, and you know, I think it's a little overblown, but like you said, I mean, this is a must-win game now. I mean, you have no business dropping this game if you have any interest in making a playoff run. I don't really think it has anything to do with the road narrative. It's just you're more talented. This is a game you go out and win if you're a serious football team.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, you're 8.5-point favorites. You're, projected to win by a touchdown. I'd expect you to win this game. I expect more from Tennessee's defense. Like I said, it's just what are we going to get? What injured players are going to come back? Like I said, is Moy going to be back? If Hobbs and Moy are back, I'm very confident in this team because that's what really kills us is the inside guys. Dominic Bailey can move out back to the outside. You know, it'll just give the linebackers a little bit more help. And then what do we get from the safeties? They got to wake up. Farouk's been playing, pretty good for me. I think he's
he at least looks like he's trying and taking decent
yes.
angles at when he's trying to tackle somebody. Turntine he is too old to be taking the angles he took in that Georgia game.
Yeah.
Especially on that screen pass to Branch. Like that was abysmal.
All the screenplays, it was like just everyone was lost. Yeah. But yeah, no, for this game and this game alone, I mean, I think Tennessee should win. It's just one of those games where, do we get that stupid Heupel loss that no one expects? And I don't know. That's the only thing that worries me.
I think, like I said earlier, it would be more of a trap game if they had lost to Arizona State, and Heupel knows Lebby very, very, very well. It would be like I said this to Bryce last night, Jim. It would be like if Prime Yoda lost to Luke Skywalker in a lightsaber duel. Like he taught him how to be a coach, how to run offense. It would be shocking, and I think it's more likely we beat them by 2 scores than lose. Like I don't. I just think the talent is like it's there for Tennessee. Mississippi State had to go raid the portal to even field a capable team this year. Like, and I know people look at the 4-0. It's fine. That's why it opened at 10.5 and it's been bet down to 7.5 or whatever it is now. But I really trust the talent shows up. I'm not worried about the cowbells. I'm not worried about the whiteout. I just it's just not. I will be like, what will you do if we lose this game, Jim? I don't, because then you'll have 2 weeks to freaking be mad about it. It would be really, really, really bad to lose this game. And I mean, I know that's obvious to say to everybody listening, but like we've already said, it's a must win. Like there's no, you can't go up there and lay an egg like you have in the past. Like it's non-negotiable. I think that I really don't think we're going to do that. Like I don't see it happening.
Listen, if Tennessee loses this game, expect a stage 5 crash out on TikTok by me. Like, TikTok. Oh yeah, just expect a Frank the Tank from Barstool crash out about this team if we lose. That's all I'm saying. Because that'll be just a knife to the heart right at the beginning of the season, and then you got to go the rest of the season and not lose, win in Tuscaloosa, and then you got the win in Gainesville, something that you haven't, and then beat Oklahoma at home, who's a really good football team. So again,
I mean, to me, if you lose, I wouldn't even be thinking about the playoffs. But anyway, what's your key to the game on Saturday afternoon / early evening?
Joey Aguilar.
Yeah.
And I know it's obvious, going with the quarterback answer, but actually, I'm gonna change it. It's Joey Aguilar and the offensive line, because I know the running backs are going to do their thing. I know the wide receivers should be doing their thing. The tight ends will do their thing. Protect Joey. Offense scores like they've been scoring, and Tennessee should win. Again, if Tennessee gets to 35 plus points, you should win the game.
Yeah.
We said that about the Georgia game, but this game, you should win the game if you score 35 plus.
Yeah. I think the first 5 minutes, Johnny Majors always said that. First 5 minutes are very important. And, just especially when you're on the road, you know, on the road, hostile environment, as hostile as that place will have been in 7 years. First 5 minutes will be very, very important. And then, you have to limit the big plays because that's what'll kill you. If you're going to give up touchdowns, okay, but don't make it some like huge explosion, ridiculous play, and because that'll get everybody in a froth, and that'll just add on to the environment that's already going to be there at the start of the game. I think limit the big plays on defense, which you know Georgia had to go the length of the field most of the time, and I think that's okay. But and on the other hand, though, if your defense is going to be bad, why not just go ahead and let them score? Get the offense back out there and make it a real shootout. But I, I really I really do think though the big you have got to not let that happen. I mean, they won the game against Arizona State because of a big play, a busting coverage, and it's because they run similar stuff to what Heupel ran his first 4 years. Which, by the way, I don't think we're that offense anymore. I think I said it last week. Where we're really not that wide, two guys stacked, basically standing out of bounds offense anymore. But they kind of are. So we'll see. But those are my keys.
Yeah, and so you trust Tim Banks?
Yeah, I think Tim Banks has already had his stinker, hopefully. But I mean, and Georgia was really, really talented. Hopefully that's the one game that you question Tim Banks and like, what the hell are you doing? But I re- I wouldn't say I trust him, but I trust him to not let this be a shootout. I think that's what I'll say. I think the especially if we have some of those guys back on defense, which again we have no idea. We won't know until kickoff. So
Yeah,
do you
literally.
do you trust Tim Banks?
Well, because what it made me laugh when you were like, "Oh, well, Heupel knows it's
He does,
Yoda versus Luke, whatever." It's not even Heupel ain't calling the defense.
but he can tell them like he knows their tendencies. I think Heupel has his hands on everything. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, again, I think Tennessee's going to win this game. It's just, it's just sketchy. We'll see.
yeah. You know, I like how you said. I think it does always essentially, especially on the road, come down to the quarterback. How in control are you of things? I don't want to see a bunch of stupid pre-snap penalties just because they're ringing freaking cowbells. Um, but that could be a thing. I mean, so he's going to need to be in control, even if things, even if we do get behind the sticks. It's like I remember this. I was watching for some reason it came across my feed today, like how many false starts we had at Georgia in 2022, and I know that's kind of a false equivalency as far as the environment goes, but we can't have anything like that. I mean, and
No.
so, but I think he's been as in control of the offense as anybody has been since Hendon Hooker, and that's not even controversial. So I have hope that he'll run it like he has been running it. And the only thing that worries me about Joey is his tendency to go on cold streaks as far as accuracy. He even did it a little bit against UAB in the second quarter. He was missing guys a little bit on the deep shots. He went through a lull like that against Georgia. Syracuse in the second half, he was a little bit off. but I think his hot streaks are enough in the running game to not have much trouble on offense in this game. Like Mississippi State is not. I don't know Sam Levin is good, but what does he have around him at this point?
He
You
doesn't
know,
have Cam Scadaboo anymore. I'll tell you that.
yeah. Like, and so to me, that'll be their first big test as far as defense goes. We've already had a big test on defense, and we looked terrible, but
I wouldn't even say terrible. You literally let them throw screen after screen after screen, and obviously you let them run the ball all over you. And that's
that's
what
the
I
big
think
deal.
Mississippi State's going to do. Is they're going to try and get the run game going.
Yeah, you can't let them go on a ridiculous drive like Georgia did. Like that would, and like if they get 200 yards, that's going to be tough to overcome. 200
Oh,
yards on the ground will be tough to overcome because they'll have ball control and all that. But I have confidence the defense will show me that they're not that terrible. They're not 2022 defense. That's what I'm holding on to. I'm giving them this game to prove me that.
but yeah, they can't be 22. Oh God, that defense is terrible. But I didn't know. Did you know that Davis Wade Stadium is actually half the size of Neyland? Like exactly?
I thought it held 60.
No, 50,800.
Hold on, I got to fact check. Yeah, I trust you. I just gotta.
I'm looking. This is off of ESPN, so if it's wrong, it's ESPN's fault.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you're right.
So, and the way the stadium's set up, I'm looking at it here. You get them to shut up early. Like if I'm Josh Heupel, the way your offense is going, take that ball, shove it down their throat, score fast, get a stop, crowds out of it. Like that's what you got to do. Keep the crowd out of it.
It says it has 60,000 according to one website, but the point still remains. You know.
Well, I do think there's going to be a bunch of Tennessee fans there. Now, I'm not saying half the stadium is going to be orange, but it's probably going to be 10 to 15,000 Tennessee fans going to Mississippi State.
Yeah, it's
So
close enough. It's close enough. I mean, it's only like a 5-hour ride from
the
Knoxville, even.
the tickets are like $80.
Yeah, but any more thoughts on this game before we talk about the schedule to drop tonight? I'll say this, and I'll do a prediction. Even we haven't done a prediction. We didn't do one for the Georgia game at least, but there was no need for a UAV prediction. But I will go with Tennessee 38, Mississippi State 21. I think it'll be a game where we score early in the fourth and start to salt it away.
I think we'll score 38 plus. So I'm gonna stick with your 38, and I think they score like 28. I think we win by 10.
All right, that's right around what the spread is. I mean, it's not crazy. Player of the game for you, I guess, would be Joey if we score 38.
No, I'm gonna go Star Thomas. Star Thomas, baby. That kid should be RB1. No offense to any of the other two, but that kid could catch the ball out of the backfield. His cuts are insane. He's just, But again, we have three great running backs. I love Peyton Lewis and I love Deshaun Bishop. I feel like if that group has a good day, Tennessee will win this game. Not easily, but they'll win this game.
Yeah, if the run game is there, yeah, I definitely agree with you. Star, I mean, I do think he should be RB1, but as long as he's getting like, maybe 3 less snaps than Bishop, I think it's enough. I think the contrast from Bishop to Star is good. It's just I just want Star out there as much as possible for how dynamic he is. He almost house to one against Georgia. They got him by the cleat, or he would have been gone. And there was a play against UAB, even it was like a 31 where he was dead to rights in the backfield and spins and then jukes for the first down. It's like, oh my goodness, even against UAB, that's pretty impressive. So, Star, big game for Star would be pretty exciting. I definitely agree. But let's talk about this schedule now for next season. It's not a schedule yet; it's just our opponents. But The home games, man,
Oh, I love it.
and
I
we're
love it.
we're one of the lucky teams in the league that gets to start with 5 home games instead of 4. Not that it's non-conference games, but these home games are something to behold. I mean, Alabama,
It's third
Texas,
Saturday.
LSU, Auburn, and Kentucky. I mean, it'll be fun because it's a rivalry. That'll probably be the blackout game. And then those are most of your hard games. And I know A&M on the road is
Gonna be
that'll be
tough.
tough. It'll be tough, and even South Carolina on the
I'll
road.
be
But
there.
at the A&M game,
Oh yeah.
um, but even South Carolina on the road, that's been a adventure in the past for Tennessee football. So we'll see. And I think the other one was Arkansas on the road, and then of course Vanderbilt on the road. So
Yeah.
your thoughts on the next year's opponents and
As a season ticket holder, I love it
yeah,
because all 5 of those home games are going to be great for tailgating, just great in general, great environment. Um, Battle of the University of Tennessee and UT Junior is going to be absolutely electric. I would love to see that as a night game. That would be an absolute thriller.
yeah,
I see a lot of these as night games. Alabama will be a mid-afternoon. Auburn probably mid-afternoon. Kentucky will be a night game. I think LSU and Texas could potentially be night games as well.
yeah. It is the most exciting. I mean, of course, it's more games than we've ever had at home in conference, but it's the most exciting stretch of home games. Even if it was just 4, like it's pretty exciting. I have no words for it. I know I just sounded like a dunce, but anyway, um, the good thing, like most of your hard games are at home, and I mean A&M and South Carolina maybe would be. I mean, we have no idea what South Carolina's going to look like next year with how things are going down there. But and what were you mad that we didn't get Florida as one of the permanent opponents for these next 4 years?
Hell no. Like everyone's complaining how we're playing them this year and they're marking it down as a loss because we can't win in Gainesville, which they're not wrong. It's just like, you know, Florida's a fun, rivalry. They are. It's just you can't take away Kentucky and Vanderbilt. I mean, it's the battle of the Tennessee, schools, and then the border, the beer barrel. They need to bring that back.
They
But
do. They
and
serve
as a
alcohol. They serve alcohol at the stadiums for God's sakes now. Like
as a fan though, you can't complain because 2 of those should be wins
yeah, yeah.
automatically.
I've just seen people say, well, the Florida rivalry is a lot more fun. What's fun about 2/3 of the fan base turning into schizophrenics that whole week? Like they see they're the 1,000-yard stare because we're playing Florida. Like it kills me the environment in Neyland when we play Florida. Like everybody's just waiting for something terrible to happen. Um, and I do think that has an effect on the team. The vibes matter. That's my controversial take for the evening. Vibes matter.
Oh
When,
yeah,
it, when 100,000 people have lemon booty, it infects the air, and it did last year. And luckily, we overcame it. But I have no problem with not playing Florida. I mean, the problem is like, yes, it would be more fun, but who were they going to give to Kentucky if they weren't going to give them us? Like they don't have a rival in the SEC in football besides us.
their other
I,
2 are random.
I mean, Mississippi State was their Western opponent for a long time, but they didn't even give them. I figured they'd give them, but that's about it as far as anybody that they could really call a rival. So they were like, what's their hands are tied. They have to give them us. And same thing with Vanderbilt. We're their only true rival. And again, they didn't even give them Ole Miss, who was their cross division opponent forever. Like it's whatever. And everybody knew we were getting Alabama. So I think it's funny that Alabama they just gave Alabama Mississippi State. That's pretty classic. But whatever.
Now, quick question before I forget about it. So Mississippi State's doing a whiteout. I'm assuming their team is going to be like all white.
Yeah, that's the whole deal.
So is Tennessee going all orange?
Well, we'll find out here tomorrow or Thursday, I'm
Because
sure.
to me, you do orange and white. It's just too much white on the field.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care what we wear, but orange. We just wore all orange. I love that look. Um, I don't want them to wear gray down there. They've already said they're wearing that against New Mexico State in November. I mean, it'll be fun to see what we trot out in. The last time we wore home jerseys on the road was against LSU during that game. So maybe it's a good omen that we're wearing home jerseys. Maybe we'll go in there and stomp them. But yeah, it'll be fun to see whatever we trot out in. But who do you think got the worst draw here as far as permanent opponents? Because I know my pick.
Honestly, I haven't looked at everyone. Uh, so I'm looking at pictures now. So you're just specifically talking about the three opponents?
Yeah, the three permanent for the next 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me find it because I don't want to. Are you looking on the SEC conference page?
I already know who I'm picking.
Well, you tell me, and then I'll pick mine.
Well, just based on recent trends, I think with how down this program seems to be and who they got, it's Arkansas. I mean, Texas is their old Big Eight rival, so that was going to happen. LSU is their longtime SEC rival. Then they gave them Missouri too, because that was Missouri's rival that was Missouri's given rival when they came to the SEC. So Texas, LSU, Missouri for Arkansas is pretty brutal as far as permanent opponents. But and I'll let you say yours anyway. But to me, the three permanent opponents don't matter that much when you play everybody in the conference every 2 years. So
Well, yeah, that's what someone pointed that out on Twitter, and I was actually like, yeah, that's true. I mean, no matter who your three are, like,
you're gonna have a
yeah,
tough schedule.
you're
Yeah.
gonna have a tough schedule. Like we're playing LSU, Texas, Alabama, all in the same year. I mean, you could argue that's three top 10 teams in 1 year,
Yep.
and you're not even talking about Oklahoma and Auburn, and so. But yeah, I'm looking at it now. To me, A&M kind of gets shafted.
That's Oklahoma, Texas, and is it
No,
LSU?
it's Texas, LSU, and Missouri.
That's that's what Arkansas got. So they got the same three.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, they did. They got the same
That's
three.
interesting. But yeah, I mean, a lot of we kind of have a mini Big 12 over there now with Arkansas, A&M, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
Texas, and
Oh,
Missouri.
actually, Auburn kind of got shafted too. They got to play Alabama and Georgia,
Yeah, I mean, we played
and they
Alabama
got
and
Vandy
Georgia.
sprinkled in there.
We played Alabama and Georgia for 30 years straight. So
Have fun with it.
sorry, those are your two biggest rivals.
But that now it's different though. We were playing Saban every year.
Yeah, that's true. That kind of takes the sting out of Alabama being one of our three. I mean, who knows what they're going to do the next decade? I
Yeah.
mean, it could be like from '95 to '06 where we went 9-2 against them. I mean, it has happened before. That's how the rivalry has gone in the third Saturday in October. But I'm very excited to move to this 9 game. I don't care that we'll lose one of the gimme opponents. And I'm pretty sure that another rule for this whole deal is that you have to play a Power Five non-con still or Power Four non-con still. So you're only going to get two of those. You're going to win games.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like games that matter. I like games that you don't leave at halftime at. Um, any more thoughts on the schedule? And then I want to close with another bit of news from yesterday.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Um, Bruce Pearl, no longer Auburn's coach. And he has bequeathed the program to his son Stephen Pearl, aka Stephen effing Pearl. Um, a 5-year deal, by the way, which is kind of crazy. Surely there's a way out of that for them. Um, but who would have thought Bruce Pearl retires before Rick Barnes?
Nobody. That I remember getting a phone call from my friend saying, "Hey, you see Bruce Pearl retired?" And I was like I literally was like, Shut up, that'd be awesome. Like, but no, that's what I said. I was like, that's crazy. He's retiring before Rick Barnes does.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl does not have. He's done. He's tapped out. Rick Barnes still has gas in the tank. You know, um, and I'm glad that whenever Rick does retire, it will mean nobody's clamoring for Bruce Pearl. I mean, I'm sure there'll still be some who are like, "Bring Bruce back," but how do you think Stephen Pearl will do as the successor to his daddy?
Depends on how many players he can keep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the portal opened today for him. If it's the same rules as college football, but how many spots are even available for them to transfer to at this point? I know Tennessee doesn't have spots.
I mean, it doesn't have to be an SEC school
Yeah,
necessarily.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why you would transfer. You know, a month and a half from the season starting. You know, it's just it's kind of like I don't think, and I hope I could eat my words here at some point in the near future, next couple of years. But I do not think Rick Barnes would retire right before practice starts for basketball.
Diabolical.
Like that's like if
To
you're gonna,
be Auburn's senator, like
I was is that legit? Like, is he actually gonna do that? I mean,
that's what he said.
you mean he's gonna try to be an Alabama senator?
No, like Auburn senator, like
Auburn.
the school something, and I was
Oh,
like, that makes zero sense.
so he's gonna try to get a position there on at Auburn.
Yeah, I guess so.
Whatever, but I really like. I hope Rick Barnes would not do that, but we'll see however that ends. But you would think because he talked like it was like maybe a month or two ago where he was like, I don't know how long I'll keep doing this. Bruce Pearl in that interview, and then he retires like the week
Absolutely
of
crazy.
the first practices. But I'm happy to see him go. Auburn has been a thorn in our sides for a while. Um, Makes it that much more irritating that he was our coach, but that's all I got to say about it. I just do not think it's a very good thing for that program that he's like, I hear I'm going to give it to my son. And I'm sure Auburn was complicit in it. I mean, he's their best coach ever, but just seems weird that they're okay with that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens year one. I mean,
I
they
mean,
still got a very talented team. It's just we'll see. Can they stay even close to what they were?
yeah,
But we'll see because if he could, you know, stay mid pack, top of the pack of the SEC, then hey, you got yourself a coach. I mean, but again, can he hold those players from leaving? That's
yeah.
that's my big thing.
Who was that? There was one guy who was down between us and them.
Freeman,
Elijah, yeah, yeah.
Elijah Freeman. Yeah,
Maybe go sniffing around that camp. You know, even if he wants to come. I mean, I'm sure. Like I said, I don't know why you would
Rick
leave it.
Barnes will make a spot if he can make a spot.
I don't know if I'd want him to do that. It's kind of terrible to whoever spot he takes. But
Yes, but you want to win. So I'm
yeah, you
saying.
do want to win. But I like our roster the way it is. I'm just saying, you know, when the season's over, ideally, and I understand. Yeah, if he were to make a spot for him and he's able to come, that would be great. I don't know where he would even fit in at this point because they've been working out. Um, but yeah, go sniffing around him once the season's over. You know, I mean, God knows what Stephen Pearl is going to put out on the floor. So apparently he's some he's some
Oh
defensive
yeah,
mastermind. Did you see that article? Like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, but we'll see. Um, we will definitely see. But yeah, anything else tonight, man?
Nope. Just ready for Saturday to be here.
Yeah, I'm ready to see them
I'm
go
tired.
go down there and take care of business, and I really think they will. I think it'll be smooth sailing. You know, late in the third quarter at the latest.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Go Vols. Thanking everybody who tuned in. It'll be on YouTube for those who didn't get to see the whole thing, and we'll post it in the morning.
Subscribe if you love us.